My girlfriend and I just moved into our brand new house not long ago. Honestly, it's the exact home we've always dreamed about, truly the ideal place for us. We have this cat called Bella that we rescued as a pair, so when we first settled in, everything seemed absolutely perfect. The only initial drawback was the house right next to ours on the right side. It appeared completely abandoned because the owner had begun renovations but never bothered to finish them. The way the houses are arranged, there's an access area to our back garden on the right, and right beside it is the entrance to the abandoned house's back garden. No fence divides the two anymore since the owner took it down to put up a new one but didn't follow through, which left open access between both back gardens. There's another property behind that abandoned house, divided by a fence. From what we could tell, a group of young guys lived there. Every now and then, when we'd get home, we'd spot them taking a shortcut through the neighbor's back garden to get to the street front. At first, we didn't pay much attention to it. Perhaps they were friends with the owner and had permission. Jump ahead to the very first night in our new place. We were out in the back garden, just enjoying the area, and out of curiosity glanced up at the houses in the back. That's the moment we spotted a man blankly staring down at us from one of the windows. He wasn't even trying to hide it. It was completely obvious. His face showed no emotion at all, and since the room behind him was dark, it made the situation feel even creepier. We figured he was probably just wondering about the new neighbors. But after about 30 minutes of that empty stare, we chose to head back inside. The following days went by normally. I headed off to work while my fiancée kept unpacking things. One evening, we chose to relax in the garden once more. It was nighttime, but we loved gazing at the stars and sharing those deep talks until we suddenly heard the temporary wooden fence panel being shifted. Suddenly, 3 guys were there, just standing and staring at us. "Are you guys all right?" I said, realizing they probably wouldn't go unless I spoke up. The one who looked the youngest, maybe about 29, had this large bag in his hand, and we had no clue what might be in it. He actually offered us some washing-up tablets that were clearly stolen, but we turned it down. I cracked a joke to ease the awkwardness of it all. He grinned and replied, "Okay." Then they walked off. What really got to me was how they simply entered our garden without a word, acting like they belonged there completely. We headed inside, assuming it was just that one time, but things began to worsen after that. They started coming into our garden more frequently and behaving in ways that obviously aimed to scare us. They'd accessed the house next door by raising the fence dividing the back gardens and strolling through. I should mention I forgot earlier, my girlfriend and I are both only 20 years old, so naturally, the thought that they could be intimidating us as 2 young women was the very first thing we considered. One afternoon, as I was tidying the front room, a pair of police officers walked around the side of our house and went into the abandoned garden. They raised the fence, searched around briefly, then left without a word. It seemed odd to me, but I carried on with my day, figuring the folks next door might be causing issues. Several days after that, the police came to our door. They told us the property behind us was empty now. Those men had been evicted due to antisocial behavior. It wasn't only with us, but other neighbors as well, apparently. To be honest, we felt a huge relief. They hadn't done anything physical yet, but this way, they couldn't escalate further. We kept getting settled in the house. However, one day when I was taking a bath, a massive bang came from outside. I hurried to dress and went to find my girlfriend. She was in the spare bedroom, filming something out the window that overlooks the garden of the now vacant house. I asked her what was happening, but she hushed me. Soon after, she told me. There was this man we'd never seen, pointing straight up at our bedroom window, and the second she spotted him, he dashed at full speed toward our house. Passing by, he rattled our door handle, then dashed back to the garden, lifted the damaged fence, and began pounding on every window of the empty house. We phoned the police right away. They arrived, viewed the footage, took our statement, and departed. We were really rattled. Why rattle our door handle and then force entry into that house? What exactly was his plan? A couple nights later, as we lay in bed, we heard whistling. That type men used to catcall women. It was 2:16 a.m. We lay still listening, then heard tapping on our window. In terror, we looked at the cameras, but oddly, nothing had recorded. Asterisk, the person must have gone soon after, since the sound stopped. Sleep was impossible from fear. So the following day, we headed to my mom's place for the night. Coming back the next morning, we saw our Ring doorbell taken off and set on the ground. The SD card was missing. Clearly, someone had returned, and we knew exactly who. Asterisk, who else could it be? We rang the police once more, and they advised keeping every door and window secured. The officer on the call even mentioned that taking the camera might indicate planning something bigger, which scared us further. At least she was straightforward. For weeks, the whistling, pounding, and tries to get back in persisted. Asterisk, we filed several reports with police. They didn't attempt the door again, so we thought maybe it had ended. Yet 3 weeks on, while in bed looking at old funny camera clips, we switched to the live view. There he was, a man out there in a black mask over his mouth and nose, hood pulled up, positioned in front of our garden with arms outstretched wide, like mimicking Jesus on the cross. Asterisk, he tilted his head and stared up at our bedroom window. We were frozen. We'd relocated the camera indoors by then, so no recording happened. Too shocked, we didn't even record the screen. He said something, but the sound didn't come through. After that, he turned, crossed to the other side of the street, and simply stood staring at our house for roughly half an hour. Asterisk, police were called yet again. They claimed staring at property isn't against the law and brushed it off. Even after explaining his actions on our lawn, they acted like we were exaggerating. Sleep evaded us for days. Every outdoor sound, even ordinary ones, filled us with fear. Then one night at 2:52 a.m. Asterisk, a notification came. I shook my girlfriend awake and said, "There's someone out there." "I know it. Check the camera, please." She looked, and sure enough, 2 masked figures approached from the house side, flashing lights into our windows. One was that same harasser, gripping what appeared to be a crowbar. Asterisk, why target us? What purpose did it serve? Day after day, he'd position himself across the street, pointing up, waving, or yelling at our window. Whenever we'd peek, he'd give that blank stare. It was obviously to frighten us, and it succeeded. We continued reaching out to police, but little has been done. The harassment goes on. Asterisk, now we have cameras everywhere, recording it all, yet we still feel helpless. Just today actually, he was out there once more, staring up. We captured it on video and are completely terrified, but we'll let you know if more happens. Music. First off, let me say I'm not insane. I realize how this will come across, paranoid, unstable, delusional even, but I promise, every bit of what I'm sharing really occurred. Asterisk, it began with a face, or really, multiple faces that each seemed just a bit wrong. 3 months back, I broke up with my ex, Caleb. We had dated for nearly 2 years, and ending it was way overdue. Caleb wasn't abusive physically. He never struck me, but his control and possessiveness were subtle and calculated. Asterisk, maybe that's the most dangerous type. Things like monitoring my phone activity or questioning my daily activities to check if my stories matched. Once I left, I switched numbers, deactivated social accounts, and relocated to a new apartment. I believed I'd escaped for good. Then there was the barista. On a Tuesday morning, Asterisk, I popped into this small, hidden coffee spot close to my new home. I'd only visited once or twice before. When I approached the counter, the barista, a woman around my age, smiled. Yet her expression caused me to hesitate. She cocked her head and greeted, "Good morning, sunshine." That stopped me cold since it was Caleb's pet name for me. Asterisk, not a typical one at all. He'd use it mockingly when I was down, saying things like, "What's the matter, sunshine?" Pushing my buttons was his thing. I dismissed it as coincidence. But it repeated soon after. A few days on, I used a rideshare for work. Different driver this time, an older man, perhaps 50s. He repeatedly looked in the mirror as if trying to place me, then casually asked if I'd ever sorted out what I was fleeing from. I just said, "What?" and he laughed lightly, shaking his head as if sharing an inside joke. Caleb had asked me that exact phrase once, seriously, after I said I needed space to think. Leaning close, he'd said, "Ever figure out what you're running from?" Strangers were now quoting him verbatim. It continued. At the grocery, a woman collided with me and murmured, "You don't get to just vanish." A man on the sidewalk commented as he went by, "Still wearing your hair like that." Someone in my building said, "You always like this song," humming the precise melody Caleb played during fights. The faces themselves didn't scare me most. It was their gazes, like they recognized me, or believed they did. Varied faces, but identical expressions in the eyes. I began feeling like I was losing it. What other explanation was there? So I did something regrettable. I reached out to Caleb indirectly, messaged his sister, asking her to pass on that he needed to stop. I suspected a PI hire or him manipulating people with my info. I simply wanted it over. Next day, she replied, "No idea what you mean. Caleb's been in rehab 6 weeks, no phone access." I doubted her, thinking cover-up. Until a week later, her Facebook post showed him, pale, gaunt, clutching a one-day sober token. So not Caleb directly, at least. But the sense that these people knew private things lingered. One evening, I worked late. Home felt unsafe, though nothing had occurred there. I just hated solitude. At about 10 p.m. I finally left. Walked the 10 minutes home, head low, headphones on but silent, to hear potential followers. Turning onto my street, I noticed a young guy on the stoop opposite my building. Hoodie up, head down. I nearly passed without notice until he said, "Cold tonight, huh, sunshine?" I halted. He kept eyes on the ground, like reading it. I walked by silently, got to my place, went up, and bolted every lock. Sat on the couch hours, listening to silence. Slept eventually. Morning came, and my doormat was turned over. Not huge, but I live solo on the top floor, no accidental passers-by. Underneath, pen scribble, "You can change your face too if you want, but I'll still recognize you." Meaning unclear, but it made me vomit. That day, I reserved a weekend hotel. Left without packing, unsafe even for clothes. Needed crowds. Clerk assigned 4th floor room, small, quiet, stuffy, but secure. Until 2 a.m., 3 slow knocks. I sat up, waited. More knocks later. Peeped out, woman, 40s maybe. Face completely blank, staring at the door. No words. I stayed silent, she eventually went. Most disturbing sight ever. Morning, ask desk about visitors, none should access floor late. All rooms there vacant. Then it hit me. Not randoms. Someone sent them, supplying my info and Caleb's phrases. But not him, who and why. Recalled Caleb in rehab, his need for control, ensuring I never fully escaped. He didn't knock himself, just dispatched others. Dug into memory, pre-breakup chat about his online forum for tactics. Sounded like self-help or productivity. No name recalled, maybe never shared. In hindsight, creepy cult-like roleplay, but real for me. Likely Caleb hired actors to echo his words, patterns, reminding me of him even absent. Not classic stalking. Psychological marking, imprinting himself on strangers, leaving me unsure of faces. Not about observing me, but ensuring I always watched for him. Relocated again, vanished online, dyed hair. Warned friends silence on my location. Effective until last week. Walking from bookstore, woman passed saying, still hiding behind books, sunshine. No pause, no glance. I fear this never ends. Perhaps paid long-term underground harassment. Or publicized it. Sick game now, who frightened sunshine most. Closest without contact. No trust in faces. Paranoia destroying my mental health. Music. My family are total homebodies who rarely travel, so we were all shocked when my aunt suggested a getaway to one of Michigan's Great Lakes. Asterisk, we said yes, eager for fresh family memories. My cousin found a large Airbnb fitting all 18 of us somehow, a steal price-wise. It was beachfront with stunning lake vistas extending miles, feeling almost oceanic. Most took rooms in the primary house, but with numbers, some went to the building behind, a 2-story garage with upstairs bedrooms. Asterisk, me and my 3 cousins got assigned there. Initially, no big deal. First day, hot tub, beach relaxation, views. Only at night did we really use the garage. Outdated, rundown, moldy-smelling carpeted baths, dirty linens, flimsy door latch. Asterisk, cleaners obviously prioritized the main house, skipping this. Cousins disgusted, wouldn't sleep on beds without washing sheets, so laundry it was. Small machines, one set at a time, late night ahead. Waited upstairs for first cycle. Asterisk, cousin Maria griped about our lousy spot. As she talked, unease hit me, like impending trouble. Rare intuition for me, often preceding bad events. Warned cousin stay vigilant, they did, recalling our old Detroit break-in. Asterisk, midnight-ish, washer bell rang downstairs. Went alone, moved to dryer, brought fresh sheets up. Cousin saw cleanliness, wanted theirs done too. Kept shuttling loads till about 2:37 a.m. Asterisk, finally finished, beds made, exhaustion hit. Nikki demanded lights stay on, they slept fast, I did phone schoolwork. Light sleeper post break-in, always alert even drowsy. Then 3:00 a.m. Asterisk, huge bang on garage door, like body slam. Jolted up, cousins unmoved. Told self-wind, but too forceful. Stayed silent, tried sleep. Repeated, deafening, door shaking. Asterisk, building quivered. Wide awake, watching lit room, cousins asleep. No wind or animal capable. 20 minutes on, third slam. Shake again, 2 cousins jumped up. Asterisk asked if heard, obvious yes. Nikki, what was it? Me, unsure, but third for me. Agreed, not wind. Nikki proposed texting aunt, her mom, did. For 11 a.m. reply, she knew serious. Asterisk woke uncle, he dashed out to check. We waited upstairs, scared still, till knock. Uncle at door, with dad, older male cousins. New grave then. No wind, no pranks. Asterisk, uncle, pack up, main house now. Then, someone on property. Heart dropped. Stuffed suitcase, rushed out. In main house, commotion woke most. Asterisk, living room debrief. Shared first 2 bangs, cousins back third. Aunt, followed uncle out, he yelled, hey, at figure behind garage. Main door slammed, no wind. Asterisk, worried intruder inside, woke dad/cousins. Searched, clear. Uncle described, men behind garage, openly staring, unmoving. Uncle's shout, no reaction. Asterisk just walked off, vanished. Not into shadows, into nothing. No leaf crunch, no prints. Uncle truthful, logical guy, scarier. Brothers, found 2 jester cards, 1 main house, 1 garage. Asterisk, garage 1 twisted, demonic. Cousin noted jesters mean mockery, bangs 3 a.m., devil's hour. Like taunting us. Uncle checked prints, only his/cousins. Asterisk, cousin drove road searching escapee, none. No garage return that day. Crammed main house, floors, couches, anywhere. Mom surrendered bed for comfort. Second night, she couched by windows, 4 a.m. woke to porch steps. Asterisk, kept eyes shut, feared peering figure. Then basement door rattle, weak lock, boys downstairs. Mom hurried down, arrival, gone, boys asleep. Asterisk final night there. Planned Tuesday departure, left Monday. Drive home, endless discussion. Mom learned my solo laundry trips, theorized watcher assumed me alone in garage. Asterisk timing post last trip to sleep matched bangs perfectly. Theories, local scaring renters, or paranormal via cards. Aunt, normal flea on spotting, this watched, vanished. Contacted host, said check garage cam footage, no follow-up. Asterisk wondered, host know him. Neighbor. Arrival day, sister/cousin beach walk past next door woman. Asterisk cold stare, no wave or smile, just hostile gaze. Remote location, understood renter annoyance to locals, but we polite. Didn't merit this. First family vacation, hope not last, despite all.